The most exciting thing about storytelling is actually the eliciting of the response, the moment at which story connects with the listener, and more so, the moment that the listener in some way becomes a participant in the narrative. This is what was never satisfying for me quite when I wrote long form fiction or made a film. It started to get interesting when I started producing video games, but it never quite reached the point at which I made those connections while fantasy role playing. Those points where my narrative, live and on the fly, was interacting and connecting with participants in the narrative, players, were electrifying, and I've been chasing that high ever since. The advice to storytellers, to people who are interested in telling fiction stories, actually would echo what any English teacher would advise, and that is to write and to get that writing seen. Obviously, you need to understand that most writing is failure, and you have to the writing that I'm exposed to most of all, because Starlight Runner gets scripts in, not just from ordinary folk hoping that somehow we'd be interested in producing their gargantuan story world, but also the scripts that come in from Hollywood. The content is not up to par with the average stuff that gets made, and you just need to be able to understand that quality must be the equivalent of what's out there. The quality of the story, you either got it or you don't. The quality of the writing is something you can help, and it takes a huge degree of self-honesty. You have to understand what the real deal is, and that takes some training to understand it. So many of the pieces of writing that we get are from people who say, everything on TV is crap compared to this. But what often is the case is that they don't understand what it takes to get a piece of writing on the air, and they need to learn that. But the beauty is that there are so many podcasts about good script writing being held by people who are regularly produced on television and in the movies. It's a wonderful time to learn.